You're listening to FitPro Sessions with Parallel Coaching, episode number 26. Hi, I'm Neale Bergman, and today's podcast, this is for you if you've lost your fitness study mojo, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Neale Bergman.
And I'm Hayley Bergman. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of fitness professionals to get qualified, learn with simplicity, and coach clients with confidence.
We're the first to say that learning and being a fit pro doesn't have to be hard work, and that with the right structure, support and resources, you can become a confident and knowledgeable fitness professional that is dedicated to more.
So how do you learn, qualify and kickstart as a fit pro? This is the FitPro Sessions Podcast with Parallel Coaching.
So I'm going to ask you a question straight up, Hayley. Have you ever lost your mojo when it comes to anything in life? Maybe that's in study, in education, in the gym, in anything. Go for it.
In the gym, actually this week.
that recent. Oh, here we go. I didn't know. Maybe we should have a different chat, actually.
I get into the gym and I kind of do my warm up, and then any kind of yuckiness about not really fancy doing it kind of disappears by the time I've done my warm-up, got my headphones in. But the other day I didn't have it. I just, like, even after my warm-up, after my music, no mojo.
That's a really great point. Before we kickstart, I got 5 key areas for you if you have lost your fitness study mojo. But what Hayley just said is really key, isn't it? Is once you got past the warm-up of your workout, suddenly the mojo started to appear. So maybe, as a kind of a bonus number 6, inside your fitness revision, you need a warm-up.
Yes.
That's a really great point.
Yeah.
Have I warmed up to revising or studying right now? If I've warmed up into studying, got my brain into gear, just like you get your body in gear, then maybe the main session becomes more bearable and the mojo comes back. You only need one good session before you're back on form, right?
Back on track,
I get that as well. Certainly from a learning perspective, I definitely lose my mojo. I'm on a number of courses at the moment, and I go through these kind of like dips and troughs and peaks, and some weeks are really good and some weeks aren't so great.
And I'm guessing on those good weeks you get more done and do more time, do you?
Yeah, and I think the reason I get more done on those weeks, or the weeks that are really good where the mojo is there, is because I've got a really good routine that works for me, which is one of my main points. So on a week whereby my week almost unfolds how I designed it, then suddenly the mojo is there and I feel good, I feel empowered and ready to do it. I think that's the key. Whereas the weeks where I haven't done, or the mojo is lost, is usually because something's happened in my week, life's taken over. I hear you on that one, okay? And it doesn't, I just don't feel it. It's something I can't kind of
like
put words to.
It's not really got the...
Yeah, it's just not there. It's hard to almost put words to.
Yeah,
and
I think that's
that's one of the other things I want to talk about shortly. Is it's about a thought, feeling and emotion, and what I think and how I feel determined on how I act.
So what do you reckon are the main reasons people lose their mojo?
I'm going to say,
in studies,
for fitness,
yeah.
Certainly if they've had their course or been enrolled on a course for more than 6 months. So I spoke to a couple of learners, they're not actually our learners, they are phoned up for asking for some guidance, but they've been enrolled on their course for almost 3 years. And I think the number one thing that we got to the bottom of on these phone calls was they had lost their initial excitement. So when you go and buy a course, enroll on a course, or buy anything, there's this initial kind of buyer's high.
Yes.
And the manuals get sent through, your online logins come through, and you're like, oh, this is really good, I'm really excited. And the mojo is there because you remember why it is you're getting going. But 2 years on,
novelty's not there anymore.
The novelty's not there. And so there's an element of like, well, I'm not really sure why I'm doing it. And the ladies I spoke to the other day, they're actually doing it. One lady was just doing it because she'd paid a substantial amount of money for her course. And she thought, well, I want to get my money out of it. But we had a really good reframe on that, which was really nice. I just got my notes down here as well. So for those of you that see me looking down, I just made a ton of notes because I think this episode's a really key episode to get you back on track and find your mojo.
I'd also say though with mojo that not just novelty wearing off, if you've maybe decided or lost the reason why you're doing it, which I think is linked to the novelty, isn't it? Maybe something's changed since you enrolled on your course, and then as a result you're kind of like, well, I'm not really got that why anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it. Like
so I spoke to another other lady.
money.
She'd actually had a couple of promotions at work, and her initial reason for doing the course was to kind of jump ship and change career. But since having a couple of promotions, which were unexpected, kind of lifted her back up and had a new initial excitement of a new job role. And so the fitness thing got parked to one side.
But if that's the case, and you've now got to just find a new why, I would say is quite a huge part of it. So if you can find a new why wrapped into that why might not be,
I'm going to pause you there because number 5, my 5th point isn't about finding a new why, but it will certainly lead into that.
Okay, yeah, nice.
And I think another key point is you mentioned about boredom. And I'll admit, some weeks with the courses I'm on, it's not that the course is bored, or I find it boring. It's just that at that moment in time, the emotion I feel is boredom. And it just so happens to align with studying. And so now I link studying to boredom.
Yes.
And remember, boredom is just an emotion. It comes and goes as quick and fast, as slow as anger or frustration or joy or excitement. So boredom is just one of those things. But if you do find yourself bored, what I've heard from a number of learners is that they're bored of their studies, but they're not necessarily willing to do anything about that.
Yes.
And kind of...
they just see it as a chore then each time.
Yeah, completely. And we wrote a blog about this a few months ago about not seeing your studies as a chore.
Absolutely.
And I think, hopefully this resonates with you, those feelings of boredom, of tiredness, of lethargic, which Hayley mentioned earlier. And suddenly you find yourself in that moment of revising, you're now procrastinating, even though you're at the desk, you're procrastinating actually reading the manual, reading the book. Yeah. And so you find yourself on Facebook, on Instagram, doing all the things
Doodling,
all the things. And suddenly you're like, there's you can see dust by the TV, and you'll find yourself dusting, or you're cleaning the cooker.
The washing needs doing.
Something like that, and you find yourself easily distracted. They're all signs that the mojo has gone, and that you do need to do something about it. It's not going to happen on its own.
Nice.
I think that's the key, is the only person that is going to be able to pull yourself out of this mojo is you.
Nice.
So in the weeks where I feel low on my studies, or I feel bored in that moment, the only one person that's going to pull me out is me.
So what do we do?
So point number one, I'm just trying to read my writing here as I made notes. Not oddly, these are planned. We do plan these. I thought about, what have I done, or what have we seen success with learners before? And one of the number one point is I always talk about adding rather than eliminating. So a lot of learners, and I spoke to a really nice guy the other day, actually, and he said, I can't start my studies until this has gone out of my day. And I can't start my studies until this happens. And it was kind of a this or that scenario. And so I hear an awful lot that learners want to take something away from their daily routine. And by taking something away, now revision can fit in.
Yes.
But that's craziness, because equally it would be like saying, I'm going to take away lunchtime and I'm not going to have lunch, and I'm now going to put revision in. Yeah. You wouldn't say that. Because
it doesn't work.
Because it doesn't work. You wouldn't turn around and go, I'm going to take away my 8 hours sleep tonight and I'm going to put my revision in. So elimination is usually the thing I hear a lot when I talk to learners. Now, what I'm saying is add to your routine. And the first thought when I spoke to this guy on the phone was, you could hear down the phone, there was this set fear, phone's going off, you could hear this fear of, I can't handle any more, I can't even fit my revision in, let alone more. But what I mean here is adding a routine.
Yes.
A clear set routine, clear get up times, wake up times, clear night time, bedtimes, clear breakfast, lunches and dinners, clear times and days that you're going to go to the gym. Put in the hours of your commute to work, or dropping the kids at school, or kids clubs, or work, meetings. And the more you diarise and schedule your week, the more you can find areas to place revision in. Otherwise, you get to the end of a week and you go, oh, damn, it's Friday again, no revision. And you beat yourself up and you learn to believe that your mojo has gone, but your mojo hasn't gone anywhere.
You're just not giving yourself a chance.
You're just not giving yourself a chance to actually get into it. So add to your routine. And the one thing that we're adding is that routine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So add a routine in.
And with that, final point on adding a routine is what serves your body. I know that if I eat healthy, I drink lots of water, I have a good night's sleep, and I go and exercise to some degree, I'm going to feel good. Yeah. And if I feel good, I'm more likely going to do my routine.
So do you mean like not making a routine of lots of things that other people say you should put in it, but just stuff that makes you feel good? That's
a good point. Yeah, definitely. But I think more so what I'm trying to say is if I add my routine and have very clear and say, right, what picks me up, what serves me, if I feel good because I've trained and I've ate the right food and I've had good night's sleep and I've done the family thing, whatever, then if I feel good, I'm more likely to do other things.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so add to your routine. Don't turn around and say, well, I can't, in order to revise, I'm going to take away my gym session. In order to revise, I'm going to have to take away something. It's not the case, okay?
Nice.
So number two is chat to people about losing your mojo.
About how you feel.
And I love the fact that the two ladies and I won't mention names and the guy that phoned me up, it's only Tuesday in fact, we're recording this, it was yesterday, it feels like a week ago, but it wasn't, it was just yesterday, phoned me up about this, which is why we're doing the podcast, they've inspired it, actually just chatting to us about their lack of mojo, allowed it to kind of lift a huge weight off their chest and find their mojo.
And it makes it feel okay, because you're like, I've lost my mojo and that's okay. It's not like I've lost my mojo, therefore I'm broken.
Yeah, completely. And I'm not going to put the mojo into the same category of kind of mental health, of stress, anxiety or depression, but quite often anxiety, stress and overwhelm do crop up with hundreds of learners every week, every month around their studies. So again, those are just I'm not gonna, there's a stigma behind it. I don't want to downplay them because I've experienced huge levels of anxiety, not just in study. But the point here is, if you do experience those feelings and emotions, they are just feelings and emotions. And actually one way is to eliminate them or reduce those feelings is to talk to people.
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
I'd say it's with most things. And actually, if it feels a little bit like a stigma and like you can't talk to your friends about it or your family about it or even other people on your course about it, it's not about trying to talk about it to make yourself into this like downward spiral. It's actually just to talk about it to make it real so you can accept it and move on.
Completely.
Yeah, lovely.
So let's move on.
Let's move on.
It's not a shameless plug. No, it's not a shameless plug here. But pick up the phone to student support and speak to Hayley or I. Yeah. You haven't got somebody that you feel that you could just kind of verbally throw this out there. Okay. Doesn't matter who that is, just pick up the phone. That's what we're here for. Student support's there, whether you're with us or another provider. Number 3. Okay. A woolly one here, and it's something that I didn't do for many years. Yeah. And I was told to do it by my coach, but kind of saw it as a bit woo-woo, and it was daily mindfulness. And again, it comes back to adding to the routine as well of, I go out for a walk every morning, not very far, it's about 15, 16 minutes. Yeah. This morning, Hayley came with me, we literally went 8 minutes out, 8 minutes back, okay? It's nothing... In the rain as well.
In the rain.
In the rain, in Storm Cara, whatever the name is. Okay, but that time there was no phone, no distractions, and it just allowed me to kind of settle my thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and go back to my routine for the day. What is it that I'm aiming towards for the day? And that time and space was a perfect place for it.
So it helps you set up what you're going to do in the day.
Yeah, completely.
But not like, I mean, do you formally go through like a checklist of questions, or is it just
brainstorming around? I think mindfulness is personal to the person.
Nice.
If that's a bit of a personal to the person. But mindfulness is whatever you want it to be. So mindfulness for you could be walking the dog. And let's use a couple of my one-to-one clients at the moment. One lad, his mindfulness is playing the guitar.
Nice.
Now, that's a stimulus and a stress in its own right, in my opinion. Another guy likes to sit in his van and overlook the sea drinking a cup of coffee.
Nice. Again,
caffeine is a stressor, but for him, that's mindfulness. It could be listening to a podcast. It could be just going for a walk. It could just be sitting down reading a book. It could be cooking. It could be clean. Whatever it is for you, find some space where you're not distracted, because the day will run you otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think the key point here is around multitasking. And that mindfulness is a place to calm down any inner mind chatter, take control of your now and think, right, what is it that I want to do? How do I want this day to unfold? And think about limiting multitasking.
So I'm guessing there's no phone involved. There's no beeps going off all the time.
No, completely. Airplane mode on, leave it in the car, leave it in the house, whatever you need to do. And I appreciate that, you might be listening to this going, it's all very well for you, you don't have kids. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning, and it could involve the kids.
Yeah.
As simple as that, okay?
Yeah.
One thing I want to end this third point with is a quote, and I've got it on a massive, great big canvas in our bedroom, and it says...
Thank you.
What does it say?
It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
It's about the journey. And we use this quote a lot. I think I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Yet so many people who have lost their mojo are talking about the destination.
It'll be okay once it's over.
Yeah, completely. and actually, if you think about the dream of becoming a fitness professional, okay, that is the destination. Yet the actions you do day to day in the revision, in the study, in the learning, in the going to the gym, that is you being the best version of yourself as a fitness professional, even though you're not qualified yet. And so in actual fact, you're living your dream right now.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay? Because once you qualify, you don't stop learning. You don't just go, oh, books are closed, not going to do that anymore. The point is, around that quote, the journey is the dream.
And I suppose this daily mindfulness allows you to enjoy each day and enjoy that moment.
Yes.
And actually enjoy the journey. Whereas rather than just going through this whole big chore before you get to the destination, which hopefully will feel better.
Completely. and from personal experience on pretty much all areas of life, when you do focus just on the destination, you have this, I have this set of thoughts, feelings and emotions of what it will feel like at the destination. And when I get there, I feel pleasantly upset. The fact that the thoughts, feelings and emotions I thought were going to be there aren't there.
Bit of an anticlimax.
A massive anticlimax. So number 4 is mentoring. And we mentioned this already. Okay, that doesn't have to be through us, it could be through anybody. But it's actually having a coach, having somebody with you, alongside you, your wingman or wing woman that's got your 6, cheesy, eh? But actually...
Have you got them all in there?
Yeah, got them all in there. But actually allows them to push you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a very driven person, but actually when I have a coach, and I've got a coach now, I'm more likely to take action because... I've got a little bit of skin in the game.
Yes,
okay?
What do you mean, like in terms of paying?
In terms of paying for them to be that person to push. But also, I've got skin in the game of them providing me messages and material and content.
They're expecting. A lot of people say to me that, it's only me. I'm only studying for me. There's nobody controlling it, so I don't have to do the tasks for anyone. So they find that really hard. Nobody's checking up on them.
But the person coaching you or mentoring you wants your goal as just as much as you, if not more.
Yeah.
I know the one-to-one revision people that I have at the moment, I want them to pass more than they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they feel that when they're on the call.
Yeah.
When they're on the Zoom links, on the webinars. They feel that enthusiasm of like, we're not done yet, we're not done yet. I want it just as much as them. And that holds them accountable.
Yes.
Okay.
So different ways of getting mentoring could be anything from like getting a coach, doing one-to-one coaching, having somebody that is your mentor. That could even be your tutor, for example.
But it could just be your best mate.
It could be your best mate.
It's somebody holding you accountable. That's the key here, is turning around and having a weekly check-in. ideally minimum of a weekly. Anything beyond that is not enough.
Did you do what you'd say you did?
Did you do what you say you'd do? And being unapologetic. As a coach, I'm really unapologetic.
Yes, you are.
But you said you would do that, and we come to, it's got to be smart, it's got to be agreeable, it's got to be realistic. But at the end of the day, what I said earlier, the only person that's going to save you or pull you out of this lack of mojo is you.
And I think the best coaches and mentors are those that don't take any BS. Like, they don't take
Zero
the excuses,
BS.
they don't take the reasons, they just go,
I always open up,
results.
the first session, I always open up with, you can pay me in two ways. You can pay me with a reason or a result.
Oh, nice. I like it. Okay, cool.
So every session we start with, are we going reasons or results today?
And then they either have to give you a reason why they haven't done anything.
Exactly.
Or a result as a result
of what they've done.
Amazing.
Completely. Number five, final one. You've been in a course, you've been enrolled 2-3 years. There's this like no end date. And a lot of providers out there, you then have to kind of pay an extortionate amount of money to continue your studies because there's updates on the syllabus. And in order to keep you in the game of training, you've got to pay more. So you're even more invested. But number 5 is to have an end date, have a goal, have a deadline. Yeah. And I think this is absolutely key.
It makes a huge difference, especially if you know there's a long time frame.
We never feel like we're ever going to be ready. We very rarely feel like that we know everything, and you won't.
And the conditions won't be perfect.
The conditions will never be perfect. But actually just saying, right, my exam is in 8 weeks' time, boom, it's locked and loaded. You'll find your mojo bloody quick.
Yes, and actually if you can't choose, I would say for exams, go to either 4 or 8 weeks, depending on what you can do. And
the nature of the courses are modular. So go, right, I'm going to do my A&P. I've got 4 weeks if you can book it like that. Then go and do your principles, your nutrition, another 4 weeks. Then go and book your attendance days. And suddenly with deadlines, with dates, your back's against the wall. But if you've not got anything booked, there's no reason to ever start. And
days
so
become
you won't.
weeks and weeks become months. And before you know it, a whole year's gone by.
Completely. Okay, and that is you holding yourself accountable and you pulling yourself out of this mojo. Because if you know your exam or your practical or your hand-in for your LAP is in 4 weeks' time or 8 weeks' time, you now know that a certain amount of action has to be taken. At the end of the day, let's be real here. Come closer. We're all lastminute.com people. We'd be liars if we weren't.
I am really.
We'd all be like Pinocchio.
It's like the week before you go on holiday. Yeah. Suddenly, so much stuff gets done.
So, if you give yourself, say, 16 weeks, you probably won't start till week 8. If you give yourself 12 weeks, you probably won't start till week 6.
And actually, that's why in our Revision Mastery boot camps, we put our 4 and our 8 week schedule in there. So you've got something that you've got to do every week. But another thing that I was talking to a learner about their mojo was that this kind of encompasses everything. They were like, so if I get this right and I do all of these 5 steps we were just talking about and I overcome it and I actually get my mojo back and I complete it and I do my exams and I pass as a PT, I can use this advice with my clients when they lose their mojo. I was like, yes, but if you don't do that, you can't use it.
So there's hidden benefits behind getting your mojo back.
And you can use these 5 tips to help your clients. If you're already passed right now.
Exactly. You could use these tips to get your mojo back. And these 5 tips aren't just revolved around, studying for an exam or handing in your LAP. It could be that you've lost your mojo in your own training. Maybe you've lost the mojo in housework.
Or getting clients.
Getting clients or gardening, whatever it might be. If you've lost your mojo, you've got 5 clear tips.
Should we do a quick rundown of the titles of them?
So, add, don't eliminate. Number 2, chat with peeps, chat with other people. Number 3, daily mindfulness or weekly mindfulness. Number 4, mentor in and get a coach. Number 5, have a clear deadline. Woo! Bam. With that said, make sure you drop a review below if you're in iTunes.
Yes, if you haven't already left us a review,
and head over to our Facebook for our daily mock questions at 10:30. Get involved. If you're not already in our Parallel Coaching in a Circle on Facebook, the links are all in the show notes below.
And also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and drop a little comment below about which of these 5 you're going to implement straight away.
And we will see you on episode 27. See you later.
Hi, I'm Neil Bergman.
And I'm Hayley Bergman. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of fitness professionals to get qualified, learn with simplicity, and coach clients with confidence.
We're the first to say that learning and being a FitPro doesn't have to be hard work, and that with the right structure, support and resources, you can become a confident and knowledgeable fitness professional that is dedicated to more.
So how do you learn, qualify and kickstart as a FitPro? This is the FitPro Sessions Podcast with Parallel Coaching.